You know your deck is operating as intended if you're able to cast a 5/5 with Ward 2 for just 1 blue mana. Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. Got another Dominaria United draft for you and we're going right into pack one, pick one with a dud of a rare, Yavimaya Coast. Unfortunately, these rare lands are worse than the common lands in this set, which is kind of funny. But if we look at the uncommons, we see Mossbeard Ancient, which is a pretty good payoff for the green ramp domain decks. And Najal the Storm Runner. 5 mana 5/5. You can cast sorceries as if they had flash. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 2. If you do, you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, you copy it. I think both of these cards are better than everything else in this pack, although this cycle of cost reduction creatures has been very good. Writhing Necromass has been one of the very good ones. I think this is the best common, but I'm kind of treating Dominaria United at this point in the format almost like it's Cube. You can kind of take a card early on that you like and then just almost force a build around. That's what I'm finding is kind of able in this format. It's not always possible. Sometimes you get cut out of it. Like, you know, we took Najal here and now there's really no good follow-up, unfortunately. So I'm going to take something different, but I mean, this is a really, really powerful build around for the blue-red spells deck, which I have liked. But as a follow-up for that, now we have Sprouting Goblin, 2 mana 2/2 kicker for a green. ETBs, find a land card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. You could sack a land to draw a card. Very good. And Queen Alanal is good in the green-white go-wide deck, which I haven't been a huge fan of, but it's been okay. Take up the Shield, one of the better white commons, to be honest. I think I'm going to land on Sprouting Goblin here. I think this is the best card in its deck. And its deck is like a green-red domain kind of thing. But I still want to see if we can make Najal work. We'll have to see if we can get some of the cards for that. Timeless Lotus. I'm not a big Timeless Lotus fan. Doesn't really seem particularly great to me. So we have Urg, Spawn of Turg, which is my award for the best card name in this entire set. There's also Yotia Declares War, but this is just not good. You don't want to play this saga. Most of the sagas in this format are decent. This is not one of them. So if we're looking at green-red domain, there is Magnagoth Sentry. That's probably what I would take, but I think there's Flowstone Infusion for Najal, and honestly, this is a pretty good one to have with Najal because you can copy it. It's a super, super cheap one. So we'll go ahead and take Flowstone Infusion to follow that up. It also could go in a Sprouting Goblin deck too, which is fine. Now we have the Planeswalker Saga build around, which is not for us, but looks like a fun build around in Standard. We know Super Friends kind of thing. Strength of the Coalition is a very powerful kicker spell. Destroy Evil's been fine. Eerie Soul Tender's been a bit of an overperformer. Flowstone Kavun, I mean, these packs have not been great, and honestly, Blue-Red has really not been open. So I think Strength has the highest upside here. Maybe we could do some kind of Naya domain aggro thing. This is a very good card, so I'm going to go ahead and take this here. I'm looking for a signal here. Tolarian Geyser is kind of a signal. Branch Rider's good in green-red. Rada is also pretty decent in green-red, if you can find some other enlist. I don't think you want this to become tapped to it attacking. You want things to enlist this to give other things +X+X. So I think this is between probably Rada and Geyser here. I still want to hold on to the Najal Dream. I really like blue-red. That's not to say it's open right now, but I'm not a huge fan of Rada. It's okay. We'll have to see if it... Because see, now we get a timely interference, so that really, really helps me out as far as going on the blue-red route. Molten Monstrosity would be good for green-red. So I think green-red and blue-red are both decently okay open in our spot right now. But getting a timely interference with the Najal is also very, very good. So we're going ahead and take that. And then we see a 7th pick Tolarian Terror. This card is really, really good in this format. In the blue-red spells deck, this card is like a 2-mana 5/5 ward 2, which is just great. I would really love to get a beachfront, obviously to splash the kicker on the geyser, and a tributary. Both of these would be really, really great. But if we're going blue-red, Tolarian Terror is exactly what we're looking for. Then there's Negate, which I doubt I would main deck. There's Aquifer if we can find a black card to splash, maybe a kicker on Arona's Vortex or something like that. Keldon Strike Team, much more aggressive. Branch Rider, same thing. So I think I'm going to land on the Aquifer here. And all of the blue and red cards came back, which is good. I haven't disliked Figment that much, which means I have liked it a decent little bit. Furious Bellow is a decent little spell to put in a deck like this, but we can get that like a last pick if we want. I have not liked Impede Momentum, so let's take the 2-drop. It trades off if we need it to. Smash to Dust is not a spell I want to include, and Yavimaya Steel Crusher. I mean, I would prefer not to play this in a blue-red deck, but maybe it's a 2-drop we could fit in. We're just going to go ahead and cut red here. Thralls of the Pit and Flowstone Kavu. This is very late for a Soul Tender. I think this card's a little bit better than people think. We'll go ahead and put Kavu in the board. Branch Rider. And so I think green-red is probably the most open. We open another Yavimaya Coast here. But I do see a Tolarian Tear, so I think that's what I'm going to land on here. And really look to stay blue-red spells. I think from this direction, it's going to be quite open in pack 2. There was definitely a route for us to go green-red here. And there's possible that was completely correct. But I've liked blue-red a little bit more than green-red. And with the card as powerful as Najal, I think it's worth holding on to for at least a little bit. Because see, now we see Fires of Victory, which is comparable-ish to Lightning Strike in this format. 2 mana, if it was kick, draw a card, and then deals damage to target creature, planeswalker equals the number of cards in your hand. So 5 mana, draw a card, deal 3 or 4, which is pretty good. 2 mana, even if you don't kick it, deals about 3. So it's very, very good on that. I would love to have a G2 Amplifier in this deck, but this is the spell that we're definitely going to want to have here. Would not mind wheeling the Sacred Peaks here, but we'll go ahead and take the Fires of Victory. This is a tough one between the 3rd Terror and the Timely Interference. I think I'm going to land on... No, we have to take the Interference, unfortunately, right? It seems like this table doesn't really value Tolarian Terror as much as it should, to be honest. And we need really good spells for this deck. So I'm going to take the Interference, but I would not mind playing 3 Terrors, to be honest. Alright, now we have Maria's Outrider, which is not good in a deck like this necessarily. Negate, same thing. And Bog if we need to splash black. I guess we take the Bog here over Negate. I don't really want to main deck a Negate necessarily. Alright, well things are not looking great now. I thought blue-red would be open from this side, but it's just not. So I guess we take an Outrider and not really be too happy about it. Yeah, this is not looking very good. I thought I read blue-red to be open enough, but apparently not. Guess we'll take the spell here. We could take Impulse as well. Not seeing any Essence Scatters, so that's a bit scary. But what is going on? Pick 7 Terror, but the blue and the red cards are not here. Pick 7 Chaplain too. Man, I wish we were in Defenders. G2 Amplifier, another card I'd really like to have access to, but I mean, terror is really what this deck needs. I don't really want to play either of these if at all possible. Same thing here. So this, okay, Amplifier wheels. So I don't know what's going on here because Amplifier came all the way back. Pick 11 or whatever that was. Pick 10. But we're not seeing the good cards for blue-red. But some of them are coming back around. Like, we have 3 terrors, we have an amplifier, so like, I don't quite know what's going on. I really hope we open and get past a couple of lightning strikes in pack 3, because right now we don't really have the spells that are good. We might have to play a negate, to be honest. It's a bit of a yikes of a draft so far. Let's see if pack 3 can save us here. At least it's another spell. If we have to play it, we could. Same thing there. All right, what do we have here? We do have an Essence Scatter, and I think that's got to be the pick. Gin of the Fountain's been a little expensive. I don't mind running a copy of this. But with 3 Tolarian Terrors, I don't really think we need this, to be honest. Academy Wall, also something I would probably play if it wheeled. But Essence Scatter is exactly what we need in this deck, so we're going to take that here. Shield Wall Sentinel. Could have been pretty nice if we found access to the Defender's deck at this table, but did not quite have that. Alright, no blue or red spells, which sucks. Talus Lookout's just a generically good card. Idyllic Beachfront helps us splash Tolarian Geysers. Kicker. And I think it's between these two here. Yeah, I think I'm going to land on the Lookout. Well, yeah, we need playables. We only have 14 playables right now, so we need playable cards. Another swing and a miss. Jeez. We're just getting very, very unlucky this draft, I think. I guess we take Kavu. There's really... I guess... Well, maybe we could take one of these here, because we could play a Sprouting Goblin. I'll take the blue one, because we have Najal, so we want an extra blue source. Okay, there's an infusion. I think we have to take that. No, I mean, we're getting cut out of blue and red here, so it's a bit of a yikes of a draft for sure. We've seen all of the Yodia Declares Wars, which don't really want any of them. There's a Volsci Tide Turner, which we might have to play. I mean, we are at 9 instants and sorceries. Could take a Ridgeline to sprout the, cast this goblin here. Or kick the goblin, I mean. But I'll take the Tide Turner, something card we might have to play there. Academy Wall over Rolton Tributary. Yeah, there are no spells. We're just getting 0 spells this pack, so I guess we'll play another Impulse. It's a spell. So Academy Wall number 2. Dragon Whelp. I don't think we need the Whelp in this deck. So not particularly happy with where this ended up. I thought that it was open enough to to find some of the spells needed for this deck, but apparently not, because we wheeled some amplifiers. We got 3 terrors. Some of them picked 7. Yeah, I don't know what went on here. This is a pretty good combo with the Tolarian Terror, so I mean, like, with 3 of these, maybe this is good enough. And that's pretty much the deck, unfortunately. So I definitely think green-red was the deck at our seat. And I do think green-red is good enough to play if it's open, and it was open. So that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but we don't have any black to splash, so I don't think we need either of those. We don't have any white sources to splash this, but I think it's still good enough to play in our deck. We have 3 Academy Walls. We currently have 10 spells, and the only spell we could even think to add would be Negate and Smash to Dust. I mean, maybe we could main deck a Negate. It's not bad with double Impulse, to be honest, because if we have Negate up and they don't play a non-creature, we could just cast an Impulse. Sprouting Goblin seems fine, I guess. I'm not a big fan of 3 walls. I think the monstrosity is okay with 3 terrors, to be honest. Yeah, and we don't really have much removal. We have tempo. We have a couple of cheap-ish removal. I guess timely interference could act as removal if we need it to, if we want to like attack with a terror or something. But yeah, I mean, this is about where we're at with the deck, and I think it's what we're going to have to run it back as. So, see if we can find our way through a couple of wins with this deck here. Dirt Bubble. There you go. Okay, so on the draw here we have Figment into Wall into hopefully some spells off the top of our deck. So we'll keep that. Okay. That is among the better Defender build-arounds. Oops, I played the wrong card, didn't I? I meant to play Figment. Oh well. No plays. Okay. So we can go Wall and still hold up Negate here. So we can leave up red just to bluff something. Yeah, I'm just going to do this for mana efficiency's sake. We'll play double Wall. Alright, that's fine. They just paid 3 mana to ping us for 1. Zaro Janin with 4 domain, okay. Can't kick that. But we can just play this, play Figment, hold up Negate. So. Yeah, no attacks. We have not found any of our spells outside of the one that I didn't really even want to play in the first place. So Tolarian Terror kind of rotting in our hand right now. Well, we literally can't block it. So that's great. Well, now we can. And then we could negate and hold the protection back up on that. So, yeah, pass turn. So we can eat the Line Breaker Baloth here, I think. Unless they have double removal spell in hand. Okay, so that resolves. That resolves. Then we can give this +3/+0 and first strike until end of turn. I think I will draw. Okay, well that sucks. Man, weird. Okay, well let's just dump two of our best win cons in the entire deck into the bin. Okay, well, here we go. And of course, then we find this scry of the land that I would have liked to dump into the bin. Okay. So that would kill these two creatures here. I don't know how many targets this is going to have, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead. Play Terror, I suppose. And then pass the turn. We can start turning these extra lands into cards with Sprouting Goblin. But we've already dumped the extra Terror and the Monstrosity into the graveyard, so feels bad. Okay. Pretty good draws there. Go to combat. And I think I might rather kill this thing. We can trade for that at any point if it attacks. And this is a win con for them. So let's try to kill that and see if they'll let us. Okay. So ping us for one there. And then we'll kill it. We'll go ahead and play Talus Lookout. And end the turn. Feels bad, bro. Because that card is insane. So they just get it back anyway, I guess. Alright. Timely interference. So we can kick that and make one of these have to block our Figment and then use Infusion to... No, because it can't. Can't block this. Could make it block our Tide turn or use our Infusion and kind of 2-for-1 ourselves in a way. I'm going to decline to do this time as I draw the land. Go to combat. This can't be blocked. This can't be blocked. We'll attack here. It has to, the Blight Pile has to block. And then we can use the Flowstone Infusion to trade these two for it. This card isn't doing much more. Okay. Then we'll end the turn there. Hold up Infusion. There's the Baloth. So they did finally get their last bit of domain. So it gets a counter. So is there a way we can trade for this? I mean, we can make this a 2/3. And then we'd have to trade like 2 of these creatures for it. Let's hope we draw something off the top here, I guess. Well, that's not a bad one. Alright, so we'll play that here, and then here comes a bunch of 3/3 flying lands because of Tatiova. Yeah, the lack of removal in this deck is going to be a problem. So they didn't play a land, which means these last 3 cards are all non-lands, which I don't like. Oh, man. A 9/5, you say. And it can only be blocked by this. Okay, take 9. Yeah, this deck is just... It doesn't really have what it needs here. Now we're going to have to block with Najal. We have no choice, really. Yeah. Okay, so we have no choice but to block with that. I guess we'll get in here. And get in with the Figment too, I guess. Because we can then kill Tatiova. We'd be trading ourselves 2 for 1 against Tatiova, but... I mean... It might be the only way we can really win this game here. I mean, I doubt they're blocking. Okay, so they're not blocking. Oh, I see what they're doing. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I guess we don't really have much of a choice. And then here come the lands, so... Oh, that's right. This lets me cast this at instant speed. That's pretty nice. Forgot about that. So let's end the turn then. See if they tap their creatures to enlist or something. Oh my god. Yep. And it has haste, so... Okay, so we have to bounce the swamp. We have no choice. So we'll go ahead and do that. No need to just mill a card. Then we have to do that, and we have to do that. We don't have to do this, but they're going to play a blocker here. So we'll trade, I guess. Oh, they have their own. Well, right now we're dead. So... is there a way out of this? Take Essence Scatter, doesn't matter because they just play this and kill us with all these creatures. If we take Fires, we can deal 1 damage to something, which is not good enough. If we take Timely Interference, we survive because we can give the Swamp -1/-0, so I guess we have to take this. And then we have to pass. I mean, this is all looking very bleak. We have to triple chump here, so it doesn't really matter. Draw a card, discard a card, draw a land, impulse, take the only card that's not a land, sure. Well, nope, because now we just have to do this here, so. Yeah, our deck just doesn't really have the tools it needs to win, unfortunately. 13, yeah, so let's head on to the next one here. Alright, so we're on the play this time. This hand looks fine. Need an extra blue for Talus Lookout, but that's okay. Alright, Impulse is a pretty good draw. Could just take the the Tangled Islet here to guarantee that next blue source. I'll do this so we could play Talus Lookout next turn, and we could still hold up Flowstone Infusion this turn if they play an X2. That is an X2, and it's a good one to kill. So we'll go ahead and take out the Gardener there. And then we'll play the Lookout. Now we have a 5-mana 5/5. Lots of domain decks on the other side here. Let's see if they find a black. They do. Alright, so would I rather play wall, hold up, negate, or would I rather just get a 5/5 on the field? I'm going to go shields down for a turn. I think they need to add to the board by playing creatures and not spells. So my bet is that they're going to play creature here. And then maybe next turn they go for some sort of removal spell and we can negate it. There's the creature that we couldn't have done anything about. And it's an 8/8. So that sucks. So if we play Terror, we can't hold up negate, which I don't like. I would very much like to be able to double block with these two creatures on that one while holding up negate here. So I'm going to have to take 8 this turn. Still not a 10/10 yet, so that's good. Exile it. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and say no thanks. Maybe we can bin. Alright, so we'll bin the land here. They do still have priority and already played a land, so they have timely interference, maybe? I mean, oh, and it untaps. Alright, well that's probably game. That untaps it too? That is ridiculous. I did not realize that Shore Up untapped it, so that'll probably be the game in their favor now. They have 4 cards in hand and an 8/8 on board, and we have nothing, so. That sucks. Shore Up is a pretty good card in this format, so. Yeah, this draft is not going particularly great. But, you know, they can't always. I think the draft portion definitely should have been green-red. And, you know, when they put a Talus Lookout into the yard, things are not going good for you. And go to 4. Play another creature. I guess we take Najal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cannot quite play both. Alright, well, have to play into double block, I guess. And if they have the removal, then they have the removal. Well, there's a 10/10 now. So we still have to double block. And that'll probably kill us next turn, so. 5 doesn't fly. Defender. Yep. All right. On to the next one. Okay, we'll keep this here. We have Tide Turner on 2. Can bounce something. Can kill an X2 here if they play it. Which they didn't. So play Tide Turner. They have removal, but doubt they want to use it on this. Flowstone Kavu. Okay. Yeah, let's make this terror cheaper here. That was a misplay. Should have used this to tap so we can hold up Flowstone Infusion. Okay, there's the Kavu again. Again, we can use this 2-for-1 ourselves to get rid of that. So what we could do is we could kick this to make it have to block and then infusion either one of them so they trade. Or we could just play a creature here. I'm just going to play the creature and then hold up the spells. Alright, Phyrexian Rager. Do not like using infusion on that, but Blight Pile. I think I will, just to make this cheaper here. Apparition. That's something I would have rather used the infusion on, but I wasn't expecting them to play that exactly. We could make this block and trade it for Goblin. It's not a bad idea. Let's hope they don't have infusion here. It could just be the activation of the Kavu. I will draw and I will discard. Now we'll go to combat. We'll attack here. And now something we can do is, if they double block, which they should, we can Flowstone Infusion the other creature to make it trade for both. So that's what they'll do there. Actually, no, we can't, because that'll still just kill this one. So we do that. We go to damage, we make them trade. Now we have infusion up. And I think I'm going to hold on to the mountain because of the loots of the wall here. So. Okay, Blight Pile starting to get a little ugly. Alright, I think now we do have to play this so we can hold up some extra things here. This Blight Pile is going to ping us down pretty quickly. We can do the thing again like last time where we can kick this, make this block Flowstone Infusion, but don't really like that either. Yeah, because they're in black-red. They got priority on turn 2 when we played this and chose not to use it. Whatever it was. Could be Lightning Strike, and what I don't want to do is go for a bunch of cards and then try to make them block and then just Lightning Strike this thing. So I'm gonna just play this slower and get the terror down now. This can tap for blue if we need it to, so we're going to tap like this. Let's see if they have extinguished the light. They didn't even choose to ping us. Very interesting. That might have been a misclick on their part. I'm still very wary to use this trick to make them block and then combat trick our own thing because they have 3 cards and removal. Did they kick it or no? Oh, they're just going to sacrifice it here. I see. So what do they get to do? They get to draw a card and gain a life? And I think they're the ones that get to scry? Or get the cards? Okay, so I think we have... It feels bad to do this, but I think we have to do this in response here. Because they're going to get 2 extra cards off of this deal. And we would rather get the card here. So put this one in your hand. That resolves. Go to attackers, my turn, play Impulse here. Yeah, I guess we'll take Najal. See what they do. I mean, we can just trade this for the Blight Pile, which honestly, because we have these 2 creatures in hand, I think I'm okay doing. Or they'll just take it, I guess. So now we do... Now we play Najal here. And then end the turn. Kicking it, okay. Okay, so when this attacks, you can pay 2 and then copy the next spell. So we can kill 2 of their creatures here. We can probably kill 2 of these if we... copy the timely interference. So this would cost 5, 6, 7 mana to do all of this. And we have exactly 7 here. So I'm going to do this so that we can play the terror afterwards. So what I'm going to do is... go to combat. Attack with both of these. I'm going to pay 2. I'm then going to kick this one. I'm going to target this. That's going to copy it. And I'm going to target the barricade. I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard a couple here. Then we'll go to blockers and we can hold up Furious Bellow. And I would rather keep Najal, so I'm going to go ahead and Furious Bellow on that there. And I'd like to kill this, and then this, I think. 7, 8. So we can, yeah. I think I'd rather kill these 2. So we'll do that. We'll do this here. Hopefully no 3-mana way to kill that. Okay, so by doing that, then we also get to kill the Kavu. So that's good. This will trade off, which is fine because we have a 1-mana 5/5. See how good this card is in decks like this? If we had an actual good blue-red spells deck, this card would be even better. But this blue-red spells deck is a little bit lacking. Alright, we'll go to combat. We will get in with all of them. They can trade for Najal, but then they have to take 6. Okay, thought that was happening. Now they go to 5. Play Figment, and then Essence Scatter their next creature, probably. There we go. Alright, we actually got a win out of this deck. 2 more to get to that magic number of 3. Let's do it. Okay, pretty good hand here. We're keeping this one. Fires of Victory pretty good early on. So yeah. Don't know if I'm going to lead. I think I'm going to lead on Figment here. See if they play an X2. Alright, good. Go ahead and lead on Figment. Prodigy, okay. We can kill that, but I would like to kick this. Am I fine trading 2 for 2? Probably, because I don't think I'm blocking. So, oh, they aren't either. That's fine. We'll play a wall. And nothing. All right. Very surprised they're not blocking here. I don't know why I didn't just play Tide Turner. That was a bit of a mistake. And by a bit, I mean a big. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and kick this and deal 4 to the Sentry, right? Yeah, draw a card. Okay, yeah. So kick this, target that. Go ahead and do this. Okay. Don't know why I did not play the Tide Turner last turn. That was strange. Oh, hi, lands. Timely interference. We could just cycle that right now, because I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we want to be kicking this too much. And I'd like to get another trigger off of that, so... we're just going to cycle this. And now we can play that. And at this point, we theoretically don't have, like, any more lands left in the deck. So, I'm going to have to take 5 here a couple of times. Don't want you to resolve. Okay. Oh, and it has vigilance. That's nice. That's a pretty good draw. Can't attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we've only got 6 lands left in our last 21 cards. We have 3 serpents we could find, which would be very good, because it would trade with the worm. But instead, we find one of our last 6 lands. So we have 5 lands on our last 20 cards now. Okay, well, do I just trade Talos Lookout and Tide Turner for this? I guess. I don't like it, because if they have removal, that's very bad for us, obviously. And they do have removal, so... We have 3 lands at our last 18 cards. Okay. I mean, thank God we didn't find one of the last 3 lands. Alright, go ahead. Okay, well, look, they're flooding out too, so at least there's that. We can make the worm block, so I think I'm going to have to do that. Go ahead and make the worm block. Go to combat. Get in here. They could have just kept this by blocking that, so I don't know why they chose to do it that way, but that's fine. Amplifier can get back Fires of Victory? Oh no, wait, we bounce something. That's what it does. Okay, it doesn't get something back. Okay, let's do that. We're going shields down for a moment here with negate. So let's hope they... Okay. Griffin Protector's pretty good. Let's lead on Impulse. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. We can do another Impulse, I think. I don't know how much I need this second wall. Let's take the Geyser, right? Furious Bellow's pretty good too. We can just win this turn if they don't block. Yeah, we might just be able to win here. I think they're blocking with Prodigy. Yeah. So we'll just do this then. Seems good to me. Take 2, play a 5/5, and then pass. And now our basically the rest of our deck is known. It's a pretty good combo with Protector here. You have to be a little careful. I'm going to hold up Negate rather than playing the second wall in case they draw another Scout the Wilderness to get more counters on this. But we do have to kind of get pretty aggressive here. I know they can just trade, but we have to make sure this thing doesn't kill us. Oh, are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? I'm not sure they had another card in their deck that they could have drawn that would have killed us in that spot. Well, those are the beats sometimes. I think this deck didn't really deserve to do much better than that, although we did not deserve to lose that last game. So, feels bad, but, you know, with 20, 30 drafts of each format, you're not going to win them all. So thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.